Live for turning. It's time for Dents and Dreams, a painless dent repair podcast focusing on how you can use the fruits of this wonderful trade we call PDR to achieve your wildest dreams. I'm John Vidine, your friendly neighborhood dent reaper and host of Dents and Dreams. Now, let's get started. Let's get started indeed. My man, Clif Rameden. How you doing, brother?
Rameden. Doing all right. It's Friday. Just got a job done. Done for the weekend now, I hope.
Yeah.
So, doing well. Having a beer.
Good gig if you can get it. You gotta love it. I'm doing the same on a wonderful Friday.
What's up, Kevin?
Kevin Buckner in the house. What up? Didn't even push a dent today myself.
You chopped some ice, though, I heard.
I did. The you got to control the water flow. So otherwise I get tons of water in this green porch, and it's no good there. But no
getting to be that time of year up in our parts.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to have to chop ice. It's it means shit is melting, so that's a good thing. That's always a good thing there, you know.
And it's getting warmer out for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a balmy 42 degrees here today. That's good.
Wow, today was like maybe 30, but sunny, so that's damn near t-shirt weather when you're coming out of our winter.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, Facebook user?
Facebook users in the house. Click the link that says StreamYard/Facebook, and then we'll be able to see your name and address you as such. But yeah, this is a PDR training focused episode. For some reason, everybody asks the tool guys who they should go to for training, and the trainers who they should go to for tools. So speaking of trainers, it was Jim Mitchell in the house.
What's happening, Jim?
Yeah. Gotta love Jim Mitchell from Real World PDR Training. So lots of good training options out there. Jim being one of them. Dent trainer, you, Don, Kevin. I mean, there's
a ton of good trainers out there. Oh, well, we got one of them that is right on there right now, Jim Mitchell. Been training for years. Definitely a great trainer.
Yes, sir.
I've had the luxury of being in his shop for a workshop.
Same here. I got to go to two.
Yeah. You were there.
You gotta love it. Speaking of workshops, that's where we met, at a workshop up here in Minneapolis.
Wasn't a work. It was a seminar. It was Stanliner's first seminar.
Yeah. And that's I got firsthand training from Clif Rameden himself, and I certainly appreciate the way you go about things, the way you explain.
Well, and that's a seminar format is way different, and Jim's on here, and he can say that too. When you're working with a group of 8 to 10 people and cycling through them, it's not quite the same. It's not the same at all as like being able to work one-on-one with somebody. For like myself, I will do a week's training. I don't like to do any more than that, because my personal opinion is, you do a week's training, and I'm not knocking anybody else or anything, so, I don't want it to go that way. But there's a lot of at home. Once you get done training, you got to go home, you got to work, you got to practice, you got to do your part too if you really want to do this. It's just as much on the tech as it is on the trainer. And I think, in a week's time, that's a lot to absorb, because you're getting the basics of PDR in that week. And it takes you a while to read the light. It takes you to do all that stuff. So, and like I always tell people, you learn to read the light, you learn to see the tool tip, you're fixing the dent, and you will hit those bridges where, like those walls where it'll go, and then you seem like you're stuck, and then you'll just get over that next hump. And it's the repetition, it's the practice that makes that.
Yep. Yeah.
So
totally
once they
agree.
get that down, then definitely go for another week if you think that's what you need. Or I think that's where like the online classes definitely play a huge role, is for somebody that just has the basics, especially where they can watch the video and understand what like Jim's doing in the video. They know that they've already been around it. They understand, okay, I can understand and see it through the video how he's looking at it. And they get way more out of that video content too.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Totally
Real
makes
World
sense.
has great videos and very good content.
Yeah, absolutely. This, I'm assuming, is Jim. He said Clif's correct on all fronts. A seminar isn't the same as in person or one-on-one, although it's very helpful. A week and then taking what you learned home is ideal. 2 weeks seems to be information overload for a lot of people.
I agree. Was that Jim Mitchell again that said that?
I believe so.
Okay,
He didn't click the link, but
okay. Well, we're gonna assume that's Jim.
Yeah.
But I agree. Yep.
Speaking of trainers, Danny Hacker.
What's happening,
brother? He's
if you ever need a stand-in for Kiko, Danny, and you need somebody to step in for you, they won't even know you're gone. I'm your stunt double.
Funny. Yeah. So yeah, Danny training body shops on glue pull repair. So he's doing his part out there too. But yeah, I think so much of what it is first understanding the concepts, and then there's so much muscle memory to what we do, and training your eye and having the ability to get live work in front of you, actual dent repairs, not just practice panels.
And that's what when I'm working with somebody, that's what I try to have. Is I have a dealership right down the road. They usually have shit down there that they would normally not pay me to fix, but I can go get it and use it as a training vehicle. And have live damage on it. I do have a training hood here. So when they first come in, yes, you make some dents, get them started on it, kind of see where they're at. But I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that, because a manufactured dent is just that. You're never probably going to see that for the most part in your dent life. Especially if you start out at wholesale. Wholesale don't call us for the easy dents. They call us when the shit's fucked up and they don't want to pay a lot because they would just want it passable. So that's what you're getting your feet wet in, is usually that.
Yeah. And look at that, Jim Mitch. He figured it out. I mean, he runs a internet training site, so it makes sense that he'd be able to figure out how to click a link. And we have a Golden Mike Award winner, Andy Patrick.
What's up, Andy?
The Ginger Bros Dent Show, my man. What's going on, Andy? Yeah. I think the struggles that come with having a rock lot, whatever you want to call it, a smaller used only car dealership, it's gonna suck, kind of. I mean, like, it's not gonna be a cash cow, but that is where you're gonna really grind through, get your feet wet, and be able to figure some of these things out. And it's hard for me to say, because I was trained by my former employer, my first boss, and so every time I hit those walls, he sent me on my own, and I did definitely struggle, but I had the luxury to be able to call him, or I had two other guys, Justin and Mark Charpentier. I had the luxury of being able to call them. I had the three wise men of PDRs. I called them at the time, And definitely still true. All great guys that really helped me through that. And I just think if I would have just went somewhere for a couple weeks and been thrown to the wolves, I don't know how it would have went, because I didn't have to go through that. But I've been fortunate in that sense. But
I went through that, and it's a struggle. I mean, you definitely, that tells you where your passion is versus just for the money. If you're doing it just for the money, don't bother. You have to have a huge amount of passion to do what we do, because when you do get home, it is a struggle. You have every reason to not want to get up and do it. You have every reason to quit in the very beginning. I mean, there's even stuff now, I'm sure, that, guys of years of experience. And I'll admit that I've taken on stuff where I'm ready to give up. Not necessarily on doing PDR, but you take on things that are too much. You think you can't do, but you have to do that.
Oh, absolutely. You got to push that envelope, because
you can't succeed if you don't put yourself out there to fail. That's the only way you get better at it. And you will fail. Yep. Don't be afraid to fail. Happens in every industry, every business.
No doubt. Speaking of failing, Ryan Shutt, all he could do was win a Lifetime Achievement Award at MTE this year. Super gangster. Hey, speaking of Shutty, I should help plug this because I feel like a jerk. I'm not going to be able to go to his Dent Tech meetup, but it's April 15th, I believe, at his shop in around Baltimore, Maryland. So yeah, go check that out if you have a chance to go. He's got a beautiful shop. I've only seen the new one online. I got to go to his old shop, but wish I could make it there, Shutty. I'm sorry. And then Mitchell has a book for us to read. Can't stick around, guys. Have daughters. Pleased to see the two of you on the show. I think between the Reaper's approach to tools and techniques and Clif's background and willingness to embrace those techniques and others, it's going to be a great informational show. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
You're too kind. Everybody go to realworldpdrtraining.com and sign up there too. Check them out. Shutty and Manny have a great show last night with Brandon Reyes. I did get to see half of that. Yeah, Dent Digest.
I did not get to see that one.
Always good with Shutty and Manny on the good old Dent Digest. You gotta love it. Tons of fun. So, I don't know. Back to training, Cliff. So what is your approach, preferred method? So, I mean, do you want guys to do the Dent trainers, the real world PDR? Do you want them to come in like fresh as a spring flower? Or
that's up to them. I mean, if they have the time to like sit down with the content and get an understanding, or play around on a practice panel, if they buy a tool, buy lights and stuff like that, that really doesn't bother me, because when you first come in, in the whole week, I'm over you all the time. I don't leave. I mean, I'm literally in the area and around you the whole time, and I'm working with you, and I'm showing you, how you do it. And what I try to do is stop the problem before it becomes a problem. I don't want to come in and see you messed something up, and then I got to try and figure out, okay, you did this and this and this wrong. I'd rather come over and be right by you and be able to say, hey, what are you doing here? Show me what you're seeing so I can correct that beforehand.
Right.
My background obviously is Stanliner. I was trained by Stanliner, 100% raw. So that's a huge part of my background that I've adapted many other way, their way of doing it, along with, the way it's done over here. I guess they call it the conventional way. However you want to look at it, I don't know what's right, what's wrong.
I want to also mention that before you were trained in PDR by Stanliner, by Kaz. You were a body man for what, 20-ish years?
26 years.
26.
I think it's 26 years, 25, 26 years.
Yeah. So I think that's valuable for guys to know too. Like, I think there's a lot of really good PDR techs that are former body men, yourself included, obviously. And I mean, I could name a whole slew of them, but we'll skip the name dropping part. But
Where that really
Jim said he was leaving, but he says, "Damn, how old is Cliff?"
Jim, I'm older than you, man.
He's very experienced, Jim. Yeah, but yeah,
I started before I was out of high school, Jim.
I think
I was trained in body work for a guy before I would have ever even been out of high school. So
hot diggity, yeah.
And then my dad was a mechanic, so I've always been around cars, always been around the shop, that life.
Jim says that'd make.
Thanks for pointing that out, Jim.
That don't make you feel good. I don't know what will. But yeah, I just feel like I've seen like you and like Bucknell or you and Danny Hacker talking shop, and you guys make a lot of body guy references, things that I wouldn't understand because I've never been a body tech. So I'm not familiar with, whatever, some of the industry jargon or, techniques that you guys use with auto body or collision repair stuff. And
I think the body shop side of it plays a bigger role, not so much in like your door dings, not so much in like hail, but when it comes to doing the big smash, the more extreme PDR, that's where a body shop background really comes into play. But then it can also, it plays both sides. It plays both ways, because if you're a body man and you're transitioning to PDR, you have to get through that mentality that you don't have paint, you don't have primer, you don't have a skim coat of filler, all that shit to fall back on. This is you. Everything is to be fixed. So if you are in the body shop world, which I've worked with a lot of guys and trained a lot of guys, a good portion of the people I've trained have been from the body shop background. That is what I tell them is, if you're fixing something to be a push to paint, you have to start that dent as I'm going to push to finish. Do not have the mentality of relying on what you are trying to get out of.
Right.
So you always have to start it. Now, if it doesn't work, of course you fall back and you have the best practice right there in-house. But always start it as a push to finish, not a push to paint.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you don't start clean, you're not going to finish clean, or it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to, for dang sure. And looks like we got a couple other Facebook users. Brendan and Jack are in here, but they don't know how to click a link that says StreamYard/Facebook to give permission. Jim Mitchell figured it out, so hopefully they will too. Thanks for calling them out on that, Andy. And a lot of people agreeing with you here, but we don't know who they are. So James Bernard is going to start training what not to do. So that's
James Bernard's a good shit. I love that guy.
You gotta love it. That, I think that would be my training as well. I can show you the hard way. We got Thomas Potter in the house.
What's up?
Yeah.
And just so people know, when you're training somebody, it is. That's your thing for a week. I mean, it's not an easy deal. It's fun. I love it. I enjoy it. I love working with people. But it's work on both ends. So
Oh yeah.
From the student to the trainer, I got to give and you got to give.
Yeah. And Cliff, I'm just gonna say it like, whatever, it is what it is. We're calling a spade a spade. I wouldn't say your setup is traditional. You're at your house. You're kind of up there in the middle of nowhere. So you
Way
got
up
guys.
north there. I got a good shot of the Northern Lights last night. They've been.
Oh yeah, you sent me that picture. It's beautiful. But yeah, you're up there on an island, and I would liken training with you would have to be kind of like the montage scene from Rocky IV, where they're just kind of in the snow, away from everything, and it's basically train all day, have a beer after you're done, and I mean you're just up there in your home shop there, and a beer. That's what he calls me on. What, a beer? What are you, crazy?
You have to get Olaf on there and see how that goes.
Yeah. How was you just wrapped up with the guy Olaf?
It was good, really good.
Yeah. I did talk to him once or twice when he was up there with you, but
yeah, he came up from South Dakota. No, he did really good, and he was one that he has tools, has a light, but never ever even touched them or messed with them because he was that type of guy. I don't want to create any bad habits, so that's kind of it's kind of a horse piece. Do whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah. And Jack figured out the link. Yeah, so I guess you don't I guess like you say, you don't necessarily have a preference if a guy starts trying to figure it out on his own beforehand or not.
No, not really. And they'll work with a variation of ways of doing it. If they want to see Stanliner or what
Jack
the hell,
says,
I couldn't even see.
Jack says, "I are smart." Good for you, Jack. Couldn't be prouder. Everybody give it up for Jack. Good job, buddy. He figured out the link.
So like I said, my background is obviously Stanliner. It's where I started. I was involved in the seminars. I was involved with Stanliner for the first 3 years of my PDR. So that is a lot of my background. But obviously I have your tools. I have Rick Hummert's tools. And I watch. You have the ability to start with like whatever tool you like. I don't push one way or the other. And if it's not working for you, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to see what you're doing. Like with Olaf, for instance, there was a certain tool that he really liked, and it wasn't working for him, but that tool has worked for other people where they did really good with that tool. So then I put a different tool in his hand, and I said, I think what you got going on, I think this one will work better for you. And he excelled. Everything started coming together. So it depends. Each thing, it depends on the person. There's no right or wrong way to achieve it. The dent gets fixed when it's done. The right tool for the job is the one that works for you.
Makes plenty of sense. I mean, have you had new guys come in and pick up like a sharp tip tool and just do well with that, or do you would you shy away from encouraging
that? I would rather not have that. I've had guys come in and they've thought they like that was their thing because they practice that was a practicing at home.
Yeah, yeah.
Where, oh no, I use sharp tip tools at home all the time. It's like, you know, and they're trying to use them in places that they're not supposed to. You know, when you got basically a Dent Olympics dent,
Right.
you don't start it with a sharp tip. Seen it. The
Yeah.
only thing that came out of that good was one of the spots that the paint was cracked was at least close to the center of the dent. You know, so there's a place for every tool.
No doubt.
And that's
no
what
doubt.
you learn when you train with people. And it's not just the training with one person. You don't train with one person and then that's it. I mean, there's a ton of them. Like Jim Mitchell. I will definitely, if I train somebody, I'm definitely going to be telling them, get a hold of Jim Mitchell, talk to Jim Mitchell, follow Jim Mitchell. Don Kavanagh is another one. I mean, those guys have been around and in the industry for years, longer than I have. I have the utmost respect for them. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Well, I tell this to guys all the time. Like anytime you can, I mean, even me now, 13 years in, anytime I get to work alongside another tech, you know, whether it be a newbie or somebody who's been in it twice as long as me, you always learn something. Everybody has a little bit different methodology or technique, and you can always
I've worked
pick
with
up
you, John.
yeah, absolutely.
We've worked side by side.
Yeah, and I definitely learned from you, and you know,
and
I
as I did,
apologize. I apologize for any of the bad things I showed you.
I've learned from you, and I have tools and I have accessories sitting that I use every day because I got to work with you that I didn't even know were there or anything like that. You were forced to use somebody else's tools, work out of their toolbox.
Yeah,
That does make you a better tech too.
Oh, definitely.
Rick Hummert, I mean Excalibur Tools. The guy is a legend in hail, and I'll tell somebody if they come and that's the direction they want to go and get a hold of get a hold of like Rick Hummert. That is what he specialized in for years, and his tools are very, very specific to hail, and they're amazing. If you don't have Excalibur tools, and you're doing hail, you're really missing out.
Yeah, you should probably look into it. I would definitely agree.
So there's so many of those guys that have been in it for so many years. Learn from them.
Absolutely. And any chance you can get. I mean, Rick Hummert's a great example, but I mean, guys you've never heard of, guys I've never heard of, you know, you meet them on a job and yeah, I mean, they'll blow your mind with things.
Kevin Bird, I never even knew Kevin Bird push dents, and that guy's one of the best out there. You never seen him work on a car. It's always a beach picture. It's like, but he is one of the best out there. And that goes back to like you said, the wholesale deal. There's a guy that kills it doing wholesale. There is a place for that. And
definitely. And I think in our industry, a lot of attention has been paid, especially in recent years, to retail and properly pricing retail and getting the most out of your estimates. And these are all valid and very important things as you grow in the business. But you're not going to get to retail quality if you have to pass through the wholesale zone to get to retail. Like wholesale is from the 50 to the 10-yard line. You're never going to score a touchdown in retail if you don't go through those zones. It's just
you can't charge $1,200 to fix a dent in a fender. When you're doing wholesale quality, you're not there yet. if you're charging them that kind of money, you have to give them that kind of quality. And that comes with time, repetition, experience, and always constantly evolving.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm laughing. There's a lot of Kevin Bird comments. Beach photo. Birdman will show you how to fix dents shirtless all day. Jack agrees. You got to start that way, and the retail quality will come. Bernard says, "Glad you like my Excalibur set. Thank you for letting me keep him at your shop." And Andy says, "Damn, Cliff, I've been doing it wrong." Is what you're saying. Apparently, Andy went straight to retail. I don't know. I didn't know, Andy.
Well, apparently Andy was better than a lot, so they didn't say you were doing it wrong.
No, Andy's an ex-Wiz guy. I'm not taking any of that crap from him. He's blowing a little smoke, I think. Having a little fun. Having a little fun over there, are you, Patrick? Yeah. So you generally, what is your time frame? If you're gonna have somebody come in, make the trek up to the North Pole there, up there in North Dakota, what's your time frame? You're usually shooting for what?
I kind of work around what their schedule is. I'm not set on like a Monday through Friday week. If you fly in on a Friday and you don't fly out till the next Monday, we're working every one of those days. You're not getting charged anymore. That's a week. However much we can cram into that, however much we can do. There's really I don't have like the set 5 days done. If week to a week, thereabouts.
Right on. And I mean, would you say you have a set structure, or you're just kind of working with?
I don't have a set structure because everybody's different. And that's where, like I said, I have a practice panel. When they come in that first day, that's really what they're at. We talk first, we visit, kind of get a background of them. And then I have a practice panel, so I go based off what I see.
Gotcha.
There's some people that have progressed further in a week and got into more. There's some people that struggle a little more with a certain area, but the biggest key is I want them to have the basics before they leave, no matter what. I want them to read the light, remember to move the light, know what tools to use in the certain situations, how to start a dent, where to knock down, the different variations of things. You're not getting a lot of anything, but you're getting a little bit of everything.
Right. Makes good sense. Yeah, and it's like you say, nobody has the same trajectory as far as, I mean, some people are naturals and they pick shit up super fast. And I mean, for me, I know I struggled in the beginning, and I don't know when it was when I finally was like, oh, I can actually fix a dent. Like it took me months of pushing every single day before I ever even charged for a dent. Yeah.
And it goes the other way too. There's guys that really struggle in the beginning, and once they see it, they skyrocket fast. And then you have that guy that really got it, and he plateaus and he falls off fast and struggles in the middle point trying to get over those walls. It just kind of depends on the person.
Yeah. Well, and I think we all have multiple struggle points. I mean, I'm only going off of my own experience, and I guess I've talked to a lot of
There's
guys.
certain panels that I still hate doing. There's certain dents that I struggle doing. I mean, every dent is different. So when you go in there, it's not the same. I would say that most of us struggle with certain dents here and there.
Yeah. Well, that I don't know. To me, that is the best. One of the best parts about what we do. It keeps it interesting every day, and I don't know. That's why I love it. And
then the new tools.
I think guys that would embrace that kind of challenge are the guys that are gonna succeed. Guys or gals, don't.
Well, and that's what it is.
Don't cancel me.
And that's with anybody. It's what you go home. The trainer can only take you so far. You have to go home. You have to put in the time and put in not just on a hood either. You don't want to go home and just sit on a hood in your basement or your garage. I mean, then be the best fucking hood guy out there. But 90% of the shit you're going to be working on the sides. Don't forget about doing side panels, glue pulling, all that stuff, because you don't want to just be the hood guy that's all you fix. The side panels are the hardest. Your body's in a tough spot. That's the shit you're going to be dealing with.
So I started on a practice hood in my garage, and then I had to go outside, and this is before, mini LED lights that you could, before LED lights, period. But I put a ding board on a door, and
I gotta grab a beer. Hold on.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
I put a ding board on a door, and it was like completely starting over. It was like a whole different game. But yeah, speaking of training, Cliff, here's a guy that you spent some time with joining us. What up, Alex?
And Alex is on his own. He's actually working with Jonathan. I don't want to butcher his name, Jonathan Balderrama, right?
Yeah, Balderrama.
Lito's son?
Lito's guy. Lito's kid, yeah.
Alex is a great tech, great up-and-coming tech. He just left Tesla, I believe, and he's working with Jonathan now. He is going to...
Congrats, brother. Congrats.
He's working with a great guy. Well, obviously the son of a legend, so...
Yeah. Gotta love it. Yeah, and Jonathan's a legend in his own right. I mean, he's doing
a great guy.
Doing great thing. Oh yeah, super great guy. Yeah, if you can't find a way to like that guy, you're doing it wrong. But for Alex's
I don't know how he ended up with Alex, but he drew the short straw somewhere getting him. But
yeah, well, I just hope he's better at PDR than he is at driving, because we won't tell that story. But anyway,
I don't remember that story. I think I passed out before we got anywhere.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So yeah, we were at Anson Open House. Speaking of Anson Open House this year, April 6th. I'm flying down on Cinco de Mayo. I'll probably be hanging out in downtown Burleson for Cinco de Mayo. And everybody, if you've never been to an Anson Open House and you can get there, just get there. It is so worth it. You get to it's kind of like a mini MTE. You get to hang out with other Dent guys and talk shop and do all those fun things. I
really like the Anson events. I think they're, MTE is awesome. Everybody's there, but for like a smaller get together, Craig and Christina, Vinny, all them top notch.
The whole Anson fam. I mean, yeah.
Oh my God,
they know how to do it. They know how to have a good time down there.
And you feel like family once you walk in there.
Yep. It's always good to see. What do we got here? We got Sean Schlett. So where do you all see yourselves in 10 years?
Hopefully alive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in my 40s now. I'm going on 5-year increments there, Sean. I mean, I'm just looking to be alive.
Yeah. I mean, 10 years. In 10 years, I hope to be pushing Dents on a snowbird basis. I'm tired of the winters. I'm trying to get to snowbird status. I want to be winters in Florida and summers in Minnesota. We got Jeff McCann coming in. Thanks for your words, gentlemen. Oh, that must be Cowboy Vinny. Cowboy Vinny, you used to have your own podcast. You should know you got to click the link.
Yeah, I got a
so you
cowboy
can see
hat
your
on
name.
the cowboy hat on the emoji there.
Yeah, I'm just guessing. That's my best
I
guess.
would assume so.
NJ Droner.
All is good, man. It's getting warmer here.
It's my guy from Jersey. Haven't seen you around lately, buddy. Where you been? Jesus Christ, Sean. We're not telling that story either. Harry and Lloyd might show up to Anson. Oh, that'd be cool. The guys from I forget their names.
The tag team Olympics last year.
Yeah.
They were awesome.
Yes, sir. Chris Allen. I hope you're coming to Anson too, Chris.
What's up, brother?
Matt Myers in the house. Happy Friday. Cheers.
Happy Friday.
Cheers to that.
Oh, even got Anson there on the koozie.
Gotta love it. Sean says, don't worry, I have pics. Yeah, I know. My wife has seen them. Oh, man. Sorry to hear, brother. I hope things get better. Keep getting better. Keep coming around. It's good to hear this. Chris Allen is planning on coming. Can't wait to see you. He says, sorry, guys. It's me, Jonathan. I need to click that bell here for Alex. It's distracting me. All right. Get her done, Jonathan. Glad to see you here, brother. Yes, sir. Yeah,
I remember when I had to clean up Alex's work, too. Don't worry, Jonathan. I feel your pain.
Man, oh man. So yeah, what the heck, Cliff? What haven't we covered? I got distracted on the
we got sidetracked there a little bit.
I get so excited when I think about these events, but we're talking. Alex is driving us back from Craig's in that Rogue. I was in the back seat or the way back because the car was so full, and man, I was a little hurt there, but
yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got more comments on the Northern
Thanks, brother.
You posted, yeah.
That was taken last night. I don't even know what time I took that last night, but the Northern Lights have been big this year in North Dakota, and when I've been traveling and stuff like that, I've never had a chance to stop, so I finally did last night.
Well, this is awkward now. Sorry, Cliff. Phone's going off. Oh, Pete Sandoval's in the house.
What's up, Pete?
What up, Pete? Yeah. So I forget where we were on the training front. You don't have a specific set time necessarily. Roughly a week is kind of what you're shooting for.
Well, yeah. I don't I'm not going to push a week into 2 weeks, but like if it goes, there's 7 days in a week. So if you want to do 7 to 7, if it stretches into 8 days, whatever. I mean, I'm not going to push you out the door. But obviously, you're on the road. My goal is to make it not a financial burden on you. You're trying to get into something. I remember being there. So when I train, I don't want it to be a financial burden. There's a lot of tools. There's a lot of things that you got to do. There's a lot of time you got to put in. You're leaving it, obviously, usually a job. Especially if you're at my age. When I got into it, I was 37. So you have a lot of times you have a family. All that stuff plays a factor into it. I just don't want it to be. I don't try to make it a huge financial burden on you, because there's just a lot of aspects that go along after that. After you train,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm pretty open and caring about that side.
So, I mean, a lot of people are going to ask, what does it cost, Cliff? How much?
You can PM me on Facebook. Pretty sure my number is on Facebook. So you can get a hold of me in any way, shape, or form if you have interest or want to do it or whatever.
Yeah. So find him on Facebook, call. Cliff's a good guy to talk to. You guys you'll figure it out. And then Danny from Jersey says he still struggles with stretched dents on aluminum. So, I don't know. Maybe he'll call you and he can come up and No, Danny's
aluminum stretched metal steel is a pain in the ass. I don't care.
Yeah. That would be advanced training, I think. Have you ever done that? Have you worked? I mean, I know you worked with guys at the seminars that have been doing it for a long time. Have you ever done that where you'll work with a guy comes in, 5-10 years in and just wants to learn maybe some of the other techniques or just see the way you do it? Have you done it? Are you open to it?
I've never done that. I guess I'd probably be more based because I have not worked, and I will say this, I have not worked with like the hot box and stuff like that. Everything, like when I'm working on big metal, is a lot of off dolly and going back to like the way I was taught with Stanliner. Obviously Kaz didn't have hot boxes and stuff. He did everything with metal manipulation.
Yeah.
So I'm not good with hot boxes and all that stuff. Now,
when you say you're not good, you just haven't really done it because you don't have.
No, I'm not efficient at it. So if I was gonna, I couldn't say I would call somebody in to do it. Now, if you want to fix like damage like I fixed in Lithuania, and doing it with the tools that I had there and the ways I did it there, yeah, there's that. So I would be open to it.
Yeah. Cool. An old dog teaching an old dog, says Danny.
I would
love it. Andy says, will you come to my shop and train me, Cliff? Now, before you answer, Cliff, I want to put this out there because I've seen it. I know you've done it multiple times. So what happens is Cliff gets called out on a hailstorm, and then everybody's like, oh, show me how to do this. Show me how to do that. Let's talk about this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I guess that happens a lot at hailstorms anyway with different people, but Cliff does have a little bit of a different skill set and has showed a lot of people. Like when you were in Minnesota, I kind of specifically offered you a place to stay so you could help show my guy Zach some stuff. And I know you showed other guys stuff at the shops you were working at. So a benefit to having Cliff at your hailstorm.
And it goes both ways. You give and you get back. You learn from everybody you work around.
Absolutely. I would never disagree. Oh, here's a weird one. Anyone ever use a power box on a chrome bumper? I have not even heard of anyone doing that, Sean. Have you done that?
I don't know if it'll put enough heat to it, honestly. I'm not
That's
sure. I
interesting.
can't say that for sure, but
That would be interesting. Yeah. And
I
would
don't
you
know if it
just
would burn
bubble that
to
chrome?
get it hot enough. I don't know if it would burn the chrome plating or not.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
Especially the chrome plating nowadays.
I have heard there was video of Sergio's cold glue pulling dents out of chrome bumpers. So, yeah. And Danny from Jersey says that sounds dangerous. Could be. I don't know.
I really honestly don't want to fix a bumper. That's just kind of my thing. Send it to a body shop.
My shoulders
I'll buy it and put it on for you. Or you buy it, I'll put it on for you. I know how to do that, but I don't need to. I'm not going to fix it and destroy my body trying to push on that shit.
I'm not even doing that.
Aluminum is hard enough.
Dude, where we live, putting a bumper on, the amount of rust on those bolts, I mean, I'm not even signing up for that. I don't want no part of it.
I'm not doing a resto. I'm working on newer shit. I'll put a bumper on some newer shit.
Okay,
but
okay.
I'm not going to destroy my fucking arms trying to push a dent out of a bumper unless it's plastic.
I've been down that road and regret having been there. So no, I'm not doing that. But Sean's saying Dwayne Emerson said it could be done. So
and I will go back to my last statement. I am not pushing on a fucking steel bumper or a chrome bumper.
Yeah. Danny says pass on that craziness. We're out. We're out. I'm out. You got a bumper dent? Get a new bumper and go somewhere else with it. I'm not a parts changer. I'm a dent guy.
I have no problem putting a porta power in there and saying I'll make it look better for you, or I'll change it. Maybe not look better, but it will be changed by the time I'm done. But I am not putting a tool in there. I'm not pushing it in any way, shape, or form. Waste of my time.
Yeah, I'm out on that deal 100%. Like, there's enough dents that I know I can fix that I'll just go fix those. Holy cow. Jack wrote a novel on bumpers. Let's read it. Bumpers are tough. I've only ever done one successfully and had to use a 2-ton porta power. And the only reason I even attempted it because I told the guy he would pay me the full repair prices for even an attempt. Okay, the guy told me he'd pay him full price just to try it. And Jack took the bait.
Well, and some of those bumpers, they're
are you happy you did it
for the bumper and 2 hours for overhaul. So for that, I'll throw a fucking porta power under there and give her a go too, I guess. Yeah. I'll agree with Jack on that one.
Are you happy you did it, Jack? Or if you had the same deal tomorrow, would you do it again? A Ram TRX painted front textured bumper. Oh, came out fantastic. That was mind blown. Huh. Interesting. Crazy tone. Yeah, I would not sign up for any bumper. Painted chrome. A plastic one. I'll do a plastic one from time to time. I don't advertise for it, but
plastic bumpers I'd have no problem doing. But I got out of body work for a reason. I'm not gonna do that shit.
Sean's saying they kill it on plastic bumpers. Yeah, I know a lot of guys advertise for it.
I know a lot of guys that do good too.
For me, I always see the flaws in it when I'm done, and I just don't like working with plastic as much. And whatever. Maybe.
Why the fuck do you fix any panel then, John? That bothers you.
Good point. How dare you? No. But yeah, I just don't like the way. I don't like working with plastic. Yeah. And Sean says don't sell perfect. That's a good point. I'm good at that.
There ain't no such thing as perfect.
Never sell perfect.
Those cars didn't come perfect.
Let's see. Jack says it was wild how much power was needed to porta power it out. No way a person could push that. Had a carbon tech rod on it, and the bumper was laughing at me. And Jack also says he undersells the hell out of plastic bumpers to steer everyone to a body shop unless they are very much wanting PDR. Never sell a perfect. LOL. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I don't like the way they turn out, so I don't advertise it. If somebody, is dead set on getting it done PDR, because they have to say something like, I know I could have it painted, but I'm afraid the paint won't match. If it's a pearl white or something hard to match, and they want it fixed for that kind of specific reason.
Have they ever looked at their bumper before they say it's not going to match? Bumpers never fucking match.
Typically they don't match. You're right, but it's even worse a lot of times when you have them repainted. So, and Sean says they're easy with a heat lamp. Yeah, definitely got to have heat on the bumper for sure. Sean, are you going to be at Anson Open House? I gotta take out insurance if you're going to be there. But yeah, so I don't did we we're quickly, Jesus, it's almost an hour, Clip. Did we miss anything on the training front that you want to
I don't really think so. I mean, anybody's more than welcome to reach out to me. Most people know my background. All that stuff. Again, whether you do it beforehand or afterhand. Real world PDR out there. Jim Mitchell was on here.
Yeah. Don't sleep on
definitely
Dent
check it out. Dent trainers out there too. Reach out to Mike.
And Dentless Touch also has some good online stuff too. Those are only three I'm aware of.
No, go on YouTube and look at Zon Vidic's YouTube videos too. He gets into pretty good detail to get a little free content too if you're looking for that and looking to get into it. Zon Vidic has some really good videos out there that are on YouTube.
Yeah. And or Gene Fetty on glue pulling.
Gene Fetty?
Yeah. And Don Kavanaugh, he's a great trainer as well. I think I'm gonna have him on tomorrow. We're gonna do another training episode.
When I threw the guy out of my apparently you've seen that too.
All right, Danny. That's a different episode. But yeah. Yeah.
He was not training, by the way, so that's a different deal.
Yeah. And Alex says, Marty Runick from Top Gun PDR has
good
stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
There's a ton of good.
Marty Runick is actually the one with putting lateral tension and pulling. I think he called it the Fairmont method. Marty Runick is really the one that started that in the PDR industry. So give props to Marty Runick for that, and credit to Marty Runick for doing that. He's the one that really started that.
Yeah, and now, Kiko, Metal Medic, Dent Slayer, there's a bunch of people with different methodologies and tools out to facilitate that. And it's awesome to see. I've been playing with it a ton myself, and it's really cool. It's really cool to see. The evolution just keeps coming, and
that's another thing. You can train with a PDR guy, but Kiko, as far as overall, for glue pulling and getting into the heavy pulls, watch them. They're doing trainings all the time.
Yep. And Bryce
is a huge part of it.
Lateral tension. He did. He's using.
Bryce Kelly would wicker down a piece of pine, wedge it between a porta power, and fix a dent like it never happened. Bryce Kelly is a whole different level. That guy is crazy good.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT for sure.
He's the best.
For sure. I don't think anybody's Mount Rushmore of PDR doesn't include Bryce Kelly.
No, There's probably a video of him working at somebody's house using one of their lawn chairs to like push a dent, do something. I mean, that guy is so good. It's not even funny. Like Jim Mitchell calls him Dent Jesus. That is true.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny says he's the goat for shout.
He is the GOAT.
Yeah.
And such a humble guy.
Bucknell says that sounds more like Sal. Yeah, Sal Contreras too. Hey, I mean, there's so many good fucking guys. I mean, yeah, you could really, a new guy could really get lost on YouTube now. And I mean, when I started, it was like Toledo, and that was it on YouTube. And then Sal came in, and then I remember the first time I saw Bryce Kelly kicked a dent into a fender, and I was like, what in the hell is this guy doing? And yeah, it was on from there. But so much good stuff on YouTube now for guys to get buried in. And
I think Kaz back in the day, I think he was like one of the first to kind of bring that type of repair mainstream when he was doing it over there, Doording.com. Kaz kind of made that stuff a little bit more mainstream and brought it to people's attention.
Yeah, and
there's that guy.
It is unfortunate because does Kaz have anything on YouTube?
He has a few things on YouTube. Another guy to look at, he's from Brazil, that Guidas Arlison. Go to him, follow him. That guy, Bryce Kelly's the one that put me onto him. So if Bryce Kelly says he's good, that guy is crazy.
Yeah. Guidas Arlis. I what you pronounce it, Alex? I can't. Guidas Arlis.
That guy, Alex. Thank you.
I'll leave it up there so people can search it or read it.
But go watch his work.
Guides Areolas.
Go if you watch his work or Bryce Kelly's work. Don't come to me to train and think that you're going to walk out like that or think I am that. So.
Oh, now he says he spelt it wrong. All right. Well, we should.
Well, I can believe that.
We have some spam coming in from Twitch. Awesome. Thanks. Thanks for the promotion. Followers, views, chatbots. Awesome. You saying the tech is going to be better at Clif? The tech is going to be better. I don't know what he's referring to. You saying the tech is going to be better at Clif? LOL. I don't know what he's talking.
I'm not getting that. Well, I'm not sure what you're meaning.
Clarify, Jack. We don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's a hard thing with comments. If we were in the moment, it probably would have made sense. But if training, Clif versus Bryce. Yeah. I don't think Clif's more leaning towards the newbies. Bryce.
Hey John, you want to like erase that comment off the fucking podcast, please? Don't even put my name next to Bryce.
Yeah. Bryce is at, I think, 10 grand a week.
No, Bryce is at, I can fix anything.
Yeah.
And don't
sell yourself short, Clif. I've seen a lot of your repairs. You're amazing fucking.
Only thing, the way Bryce could come up here and do a lot of training, because you know what? I know in Florida they don't have trains. We have a lot of cars that are hit by trains that need to be put back on the road. Bryce would make a killing up here.
Yeah.
That guy is crazy good.
Crazy good.
If you're
get him on here for the training.
You definitely. Well. I was just gonna say, if you're somebody that wants advanced training, that's the guy to go to.
Yeah. And I know he trained Boyette here recently. I talked to Boyette just today again, but I talk to him often, and yeah, I mean, Boyette said it was the best money he ever spent. So, if it's someone looking for advanced training, Bryce would be a good one, and what have you. But yeah, it's
And I've been around Bryce, and I've got to work around him in the Stanliner booth. Bryce is so good at explaining stuff. He's so humble, so easygoing.
Jack
I mean,
says he doesn't
you can't
ask how
find a
big
better
the
guy.
dent is. He asks how big of a train hit it. Oh, snap. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Yeah. But another perk, training with Clif. I'm pretty sure you always have a cold beer in the garage after a long day of training.
It's the only way you start training.
Gotta love it.
Well, no, you start with coffee. But the first day when you come in, it's the beer, the introduction. If you drink beer, if you don't, that's fine too.
Fair enough. You got White Claw available too. Jack is asking, cold beer is much needed when training, and then Jack is wanting to know, is it Irish coffee?
We can do Irish coffee. I'm gonna say no on the White Claws unless it's like specifically asked for. That ain't happening.
Fair. Cool.
And there's no strawberry cheesecake vape pens or anything like that. It's
keeping it real, and we're almost out of time
Flair
here,
in the
but
house.
Ric Flair in the house. We'll end on a Jack Bucknell, but anything I missed, anything that we wanted to touch on that I forgot to ask about or we forgot to talk about that you can think of?
I don't think so. I think all good.
Yeah. I think we covered it all. But yeah, so whatever. If you're thinking about getting into the old PDR game, you want a good foundation under your feet, consider Cliffy. Reach out and just talk to him. I mean, I know Cliff is willing to talk to and has been talking to a lot of guys, but yeah, any questions you got, he's pretty much an open book. So give him a call, and even if you don't end up training with him, I'm sure you'll learn something.
I'll point you in the right direction. I'll visit with you. I've actually told people maybe they might be better off going to someone else where they're at, and if it's closer to their area and they financially can't do it, you might be better off going to a Don Kavanaugh or, Jim Mitchell or somebody like that.
Right. Yeah. And there's a ton of options.
I'm saying like Jim Mitchell and them ones just because we're talking about them a lot. There's a ton of them out there. Mike Polito. I think Sal Contreras does training too, doesn't he?
I think he does.
I think Sal does training too. Depending on what part of the country you're at and where you can get and how much time you can take away, all those things factor into training. Because most of the time, unless you're just getting out of school or whatever, you're usually have a job or a family to leave, one of the two, or both. So,
yeah,
the time, travel, all that stuff, that all plays a factor.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, all good points. But yeah, whatever. Reach out to Cliff if you're thinking about it, or reach out to someone else. I don't know, but
if you want to call, talk, have a beer, I'll do that too. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, anyone that I know that's worked with you has had all good things to say. So, did I win the contest? One of every Dent Reaper tool. Sorry, Danny, that's not a contest. Not a thing. Maybe I should do that. That would be interesting. I wonder what we could do for that. I'll consider some sort of contest. I will do a shameless plug. We got new tabs coming soon. These are just prototypes. They will be purple, of course, but keep your eyes peeled for those. They're probably about a month out. So he just
in time for hail season.
He just wanted to see my reaction. Yeah. And we got some other things in the works too. So, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people do or do not know that Clif and I talk often, and there's a little bit of Clif's flavor in a lot of my tools. So,
well, that secret's out of the bag now, John.
Oh, wow. Was that a secret? Yeah, whatever. We're an hour and 10 minutes in.
Yeah, we're past that point.
Nobody's listening. We're fine.
I'm gonna rewatch it later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love it. Share contest. Oh, Sean says, thanks, Danny. A share contest. Yeah, we're not doing it. We're not doing it right now. There's no contest right now. I would really have to think about that one, because that would be an expensive contest. I have a lot of tools available at dentreaper.com. Shameless plug. And reach out to Cliffy for all of your PDR training needs. And we're happy to be your background while you're fixing dents, Matt. That's awesome. Love to hear it. I'm glad you're busy. I wish you better in the future when you can say, fuck it, it's Friday, I'm out. But that'll come. But I don't know, Clif. I think we covered everything, and I think it is time for us to stop live streaming and start focusing a little bit more on Friday evening. And I hope everybody has
perfect.
a wonderful...
I'm 4 beers in and I got to take a piss. No offense, but it's a good stopping point.
All right. Well, everybody, I hope you have a great day, great weekend, and thanks for
Same
watching.
For me.
Hit Cliffy if you need some training. And until then, live your dreams.
Just wanted to thank you for listening to another episode of Dents and Dreams. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, compliments, or complaints, I can be reached at Dent Reaper across social media. And be sure to subscribe to the Dents and Dreams Facebook group and or YouTube channel, because that's where it'll happen if and when we go live. Thanks again.